Utilitarianism is another mentality we want to talk about. Utility means profitable or beneficial. When money is everything, everyone will strive to make money and get more of it, and it will be a ruler to measure everything based on it. There is a key statement that almost all prophets have said to their communities. Like when Noah wants to talk to his people, he says, "I'm God's messenger, and I don't want money or anything from you." Because the basis of all relations, transactions, and cooperation was money at that time. Money was literally everything for those people, while Imam Ali says, "Desperate love and affection for money and wealth is the source of most miseries." And that's the difference between these two mentalities. In utilitarianism mentality, having profit should not be allowed because money has least priority for them. When Noah told people he isn't after money, they thought about what he is after, and the only answers they could think of was that he's either liar or crazy. On the day of Ashura, Imam Hussein said, "These people only boast about religion, good intention, and their loyalty. Their true intention will appear at hardships when the war breaks out, and at that time, not everyone will stay with me." As you see, there's a huge difference between Hussein's mentality and those people. In utilitarianism, even when they are talking about religion, they're not seeking the truth, but looking for personal interest. God, in Quran regarding this issue says, "If your father, sons, brothers, wives, tribes, the property you have acquired, and your business are dearer than Allah, His messenger, and striving in His way, then wait till Allah bring His command." And it is interesting that Noah's storm that destroyed everything is referred to as command. So if you love this earthly life with all its belongings more than everything, you're behaving similar to those transgressing people. And God won't stand by their side, those two-faced people who claim to believe and love God, but they stand against Him at hardships. At some point when you're put in a situation where something is in favor of your faith, but not your money, and you have to choose between your money and your faith, look inside your heart and see if you're two-faced or not. It was these transgressing people who put Hussein's head on spear. He was merely trying to show how dangerous this mentality and these kind of people are, and to prove it, he took his wife, children, his whole family, and left his house and belongings to meet those people who invited and showed love for him. But when he arrived, they mutilated him, ran him over by their horses, and his family, even his 3-year-old daughter, was injured. These all happened to show us how corrupt and evil this mentality could be. The mourning for Hussein and those black flags Muslims carry. They aren't merely flags, they're symbols and signs that reminds us what happened that day and to lit our awareness. If you look around carefully, you can still see traces of utilitarianism. When someone works toward the rise of Imam Mahdi, people around you would say, "Go take care of your life and school and don't waste your time and energy on this." And this is exactly the same corrupted mentality we talked about. But at the end, those who did something for their prophets and put faith on them were the most intelligent and benefited people, and they were saved, like how they were saved from the flood back in Noah's age. The apartheid system and social classes are a result of utilitarianism. When money becomes criterion, anyone who makes more money becomes more honorable, then people adopt a totalitarian view. They want to get more and more money because human nature is like that. It seeks elevation and wanting more and more of something. And what happens next? A small group of people who have all the capital run the world. Pay attention what Noah says to his people. The more money and wealth they have, the more they are in loss. And he adds that those leader of his people were so cunning and deceitful. These people became leader of the deceit and created oppressed people and oppression in contrast to it. Against deceitful government back in 1979, leader of Iran's revolution says, "We are the forerunners of the world's oppressed people." The oppressed means those who have been kept weak or deprived forcefully. Sometimes it's cultural oppression, sometimes financial. In fact, those who made fun of Noah were from higher social classes. Are you prepared to encounter being ridiculed today? Relativism and liberalism are next issues. Unbelievers used to tell Noah, "You're a human being just like us and have no superiority or wisdom over us." They were saying, "You don't have the right to say the truth is in your hands only." We are holding the truth too. Who says all the truth is with you? Who says all the truth was with Imam Ali? And in Ashura was with Imam Hussein. We both are holding the truth, despite having totally different ideologies. This kind of attitude comes from relativism mentality. Even now, traces of this mentality can be seen among us. In this mentality, no one has the right to call his beliefs superior to others, and claim to own the truth results in being expelled from the list of the intellectuals. And they'd say, "You're no longer a liberal or seeker of freedom. Liberalism means that everything is allowed and permissible. So then, what is good and what's bad?" This way, good and bad, right and wrong will be determined based on one's interest. And that's the fruit of liberalism. In this mentality, everyone is free to do whatever they wish, as long as they don't affect freedom of others. And nobody has the right to violate this rule. Nobody, not even the Prophet. And if you have any objection, you'll be labeled as uncivilized, moron, totalitarian, violent, intolerant, unforgiving, antisocial, and so on. In Noah's time, people had their own gods that they created. Even now, we define our gods based on our own beliefs. We have become relativist when it comes to defining our gods, with one's God being strict, while another might be more forgiving, even if we have a religion that told us whom our God is. As the end times draw near, a spike in spirituality and deviant sects occurs. Each sect claims to be the only one that follows the true path, while rejecting the teachings of Allah. This only emphasizes the importance of remaining true to one's faith and beliefs, despite the increasing presence of misguided ideologies. There's only one true path which is being denied by all of them. According to the Quran, all humans originally formed one nation and one people, but they later divided themselves into separate groups. The Quran explains that this division was caused by humans following their own passions and desires instead of following God. There is only one God, but many different opinions and desires. In this mindset, when the Prophet is set aside, experts will take his place. All projects must be studied by experts. If an expert works in their own field of expertise, there is no problem. It is important for projects to be reviewed by experts in their field. If an expert works within their own expertise, then there should not be any problems. However, if they start to judge the overall goal of the project, then they may run into difficulties. Most of them judge about the goal, meaning that the Prophet don't understand but experts does. Imam Ali wasn't against experts' commentary in their expertise. He even advised us to be virtuous and organized in our affairs. To be virtuous means to believe in Allah, and to be organized means to study and plan for your affairs. An example for having experts meddling into affairs other than their expertise would be the statement of one of them who said, "We've tried to free financial relations and economy from usury, but in practice, we have found that economic growth is not possible without it. That is why our economy hasn't grown enough." Here, an expert insists that usury is necessary for economic growth, while Allah in Quran literally says, charging usury is like declaring war against Allah, and He hasn't condemned any sin like He has condemned usury.